This podcast features adult language and is not for the easily offended. You have been warned.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Skit Style BBS Podcast episode 322.
Happy Mother's Day, if you care about that.
I do care about it. I love my mommy.
Congratulations. Are you going to become a mommy yourself one day, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Yes, Stan, I am. So what are we doing today, Ryan?
Tonight, we are reviewing Season 2 of Tales of Zestiria, The Cross. Specifically, I think it's episodes 13 through 25.
Yeah, I think so.
I watched...
Something like that, whatever.
I'll go ahead and say I watched it on Funimation, and that's how they numbered it, so...
I watched the broadcast of theirs. So.
Yeah, I watched the sub to go along with what I had watched before. But we are going to continue from where we left off. This will be on YouTube, like the first one was, so, you know. Now, you might notice that we don't have a guest with us like we were originally planning. Here's the thing. Stan is not entirely too pleased with this thing, and because of that, the show, I mean, and because of that, there's a hell of a lot of malevolence building from him. And
yeah.
I feel like it would have been better to spare Chris from this debauchery.
Yeah, and because Ryan is the shepherd of the podcast, only he can purify me.
Apparently.
So, well, you're the only one here, and you're still alive, and not a Hellion, as far as I'm aware, so...
Right, yeah.
So like our Berseria episode, plug, this is gonna basically be another me versus Ryan episode, so I hope you're fucking ready.
Except I think it's even different, because I liked Berseria, whereas you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with Season 2, you hate Season 2.
Yes. Yes, I do. I wasn't too fond of Season 1 either, but whatever. So...
yeah.
So with that said, I guess we'll do the same thing we kind of did with Season 1, where we just kind of talk about whatever shit pops up to mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
That said, I will start off with our typical warning. Spoilers, obviously, if you haven't seen it.
Right.
You've been warned, and, plus if you've been following us by now, you should expect that. Just saying.
Yeah.
But, there you go. So if you're like, hey man, you gave away the twist, what the fuck? We warned you. There you go. So, okay. So I'm going to start off this thing by calling out the biggest issue I have. Okay?
Okay.
And now, I know what viewers out there might initially think, but hear me out. Okay. I was miffed about stuff they had changed. For example, how almost every fucking enemy they fought was a goddamn dragon, for example, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, but however, Season 1, at least on a surface level, okay, was still overall following the game, right? Like, yeah, they changed some shit, but if you're talking just like, the overall sort of just kind of, hey, he's the shepherd and he's palling around with his friends and he's saving the world and all that shit. Yeah, okay. Characterization aside, it was staying faithful for the most part, right? Season 2, on the other hand, decides, fuck it, we're writing our own shit. Like, they basically go completely off the rails. And now, I'm not saying I hate this solely because it's different, okay? I like the first 2 Battle Network anime. Those are way different from the games, okay? That's not the problem. The problem is that it's handled really fucking bad, in my opinion. Not only are the characters written completely out of character from their game selves, but it doesn't even make any sense. Like, the plot that they go with doesn't even work in its own internal logic, and in a lot of cases, completely goes against the themes of Tales of Zestiria in order to just go with a complete fanfic. So that's my overall, like, that's the short Cliff Note version of my distaste with this fucking season. A lot of wasted potential. And I'll of course go in depth later, but you know what, Ryan, what's your stance on it? Like, your overall, like your Cliff Note.
Overall, I didn't hate Season 2. I do agree that a few of the characters were altered from their game counterparts. Rose in particular, and like you said, it kind of goes against the theme. In my case, Rose's reimagining, I guess I'll say, kind of goes against what I felt like her role as a character and a member of Soray's group was. I do think there are a couple things that I think were done well, story-wise. I wasn't really expecting it. I was expecting them to like change it up, especially with the connection with Berseria, which I kind of wish they did a little bit more. At least something a little more palpable than what we saw.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That'll be my next point once you're done.
Yeah. So overall, I didn't hate it, but there were a couple of parts that I didn't like. So it's more like it was alright kind of thing.
Okay. So here's our segue now that you've provided for us. Okay, if you've seen our review of Season 1, we all agreed that we wanted the Berseria connection to go somewhere, right? Because,
right.
like, it's even in the name, Zestiria, the cross, crossover, Berseria, Zestiria. They even had the two fucking episodes devoted to Berseria, okay? Here's the issue. Okay, Season 2, it kind of happens, sort of, but not really.
Right.
And here's the main problem. I could understand the plot going totally, like, on paper, this sounds like a cool idea. Like, what if Saray discovered the world of Berseria? Or what if something from Berseria managed to make its way directly into Zestiria and just threw everything completely off the rails, right?
Yeah.
Like, on paper, that sounds cool. I would have been interested to see that. Here's the issue. The Berseria shit, almost nothing comes of it. Period. Right. Like, okay, what in all do we get? We get a cameo from Grimoire. And that's like the least offensive of them. We have Eisen, sort of. But I'll get to that in a second. And no, not really. But
well, no, I was making...
I know what you were referencing. I know what you were referencing. Shut up. And here's where this shit starts to infuriate me, okay? Okay, so, for those of you who have played the game, you all know Michael wrote the Celestial Record, right?
Right.
Which is essentially, the analogy for the Bible in Zestiria.
Mm-hmm.
But did you know so secretly wrote a second Celestial Record, and it details every detail about Tales of Berseria, because he was totally there to see all of it.
He totally knew.
Yeah, and he knows every single thing. In fact, the royal family even knows literally everything about Berseria's time. Quick question. Why the fuck would this exist? Logically, this should completely uproot everything everyone knows and believes in the world of Zestiria, and it has no impact. Like, A, how do people not know what Hellions are? B, how does no one know the actual origins of the Shepherd? Etc. You know what I mean? No one fucking acknowledges this shit. And, like, how do I put this? okay, like Saray reads the fucking book that details Berseria. This should completely shatter his entire idea of the world at this point. Logically, right? Because if you've played Berseria, you know that, or if you've watched our review, I guess, or listened, rather, then you know Berseria's case is, everything you knew from Zestiria is a fucking lie, go fuck yourself. Like, which I fucking hate, by the way. So, but no, what's Saray's reaction to this? Okay, cool. Great. Fantastic. The most we get out of that is Velvet just kind of randomly shows up to him in a dream and goes, do you know why birds fly? Buy Tales of Berseria to find out. Okay, later. And that's about it. Like, fuck me. Oh. And by the way, Maltellus, yeah, he totally wasn't corrupted. He's A-okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, fuck that. That's fucking retarded. Like, no, just put it this way. Season 2 goes out of its way to remove every bit of drama or stakes that Tales of Zestiria had. And it's bullshit. Alicia's character arc about wanting to be both a hero and the princess and leader of her people, completely gone. Rose, completely changed. She should, which by the way, this also completely changes the way Malevolence works, because now all of a sudden she's like, is killing people who I think are bad the right thing to do? I don't know. I just wonder. Okay, you should be spouting malevolence like nobody's fucking business right now, and yet you're not. Great. And yet, you know, by the way, her backstory and Dezel's by proxy are completely removed and rewritten. So that's nice. In fact, Dezel's character arc is completely gone. Oh, and by the way, Rose and Alicia become besties and a bit more than that, which is at the end of the show. But, fuck you. Zenris, a.k.a. Gramps.
Still alive.
Still alive. Maltellus, never corrupted. The war that was between fucking Highland and Rowlands. It can be put on hold. Fuck it. Who cares? Like,
didn't the game kind of do that a little bit too, though?
No! The game actually had fucking diplomacy and shit. Like, hell, one of the DLC skits is actually about Alicia going, alright, Saray and his friends are busy saving the world. Meanwhile, I need to save my world. And she, like, heads off to, like, do diplomacy with Rollins and Sergei and whatnot. So, no, there was still shit. And plus, it was a point in the game that, yeah, the world was in crisis. But the fucking higher-ups didn't give a shit. All they cared about was conquering the Under Kingdom.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember, so...
So, like, yeah, so this thing goes out of its way to be like, but everything's totally hunky-dory. Like, for example, when they go to fucking save the world, apparently everyone in the fucking goddamn world wants to help them, even though it was a point that the world was being corrupted by malevolence, so no one gave a fuck. God damn it. Like, so apparently malevolence doesn't mean shit in this anime. Like, who cares? It seems. Fuck me.
Even Hideo Baba wanted to help.
Yeah, he has a cameo and he's a cook, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. Oh, and by the way, the entire first half of the show basically says Alicia is the main character, and that pisses me the fuck off. God damn it. Because, like, here's how the pacing of this season goes. Filler. Wait, the end. Right. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, my favorite character is Avid. Basically just a background object. Fuck him, apparently. Oh, and Siegfried? Yeah, and it's just a gun. No one cares. Has no importance. Oh, and at the end, everybody gets to live. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Fucking... I'm sorry, I've rambled a lot. I should give you a chance to talk, Ryan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Yeah, like I said before, I don't hate it as much. Like I said, I was kind of expecting it to be different, and in some aspects I wanted it to be different. I feel like, I think sort of giving us, to start off with some positives at least, just to vary things up a little bit. I think letting us see what Alicia was doing, since, like in the game, they do still kind of split up. But, they split up, but, oh, she's still important. No, we gotta go focus on her a little bit. I like that we kind of got to see both Saray and Alicia do their things. I feel like that's a good way to handle it, especially if she feels like she needs to stay in Highland. I actually think that was actually a good way to handle it. Have Saray go over to Rolance and do his thing. Have Alicia stay in Highland. Like, I don't remember when specifically in the game they go over to Rolance. I think it might have been a bit later. But I think, because I remember during the review, I remember saying, like, I felt like Alicia left too early. I feel like how they handled it here was more along the lines of what I wanted. I don't know. Again, I don't think I would have had Alicia leave as early as she does, but I do think focusing on her exclusively, like in Rebirth, where like you alternate a little bit between Vague and Claire, and in this case it'd be like you'd have like another party, like we see Ian and Schiller, who I feel like her name should be Sheila. I don't know. Like, do they call her something else in the broadcast dub, or is it still Schiller?
I honestly don't remember. I think it's Schiller. I'm not sure.
Because, in the Japanese version, because of the way, the languages...
I just remember Ian. I just remember Ian because no matter which version you're watching, Stiller might as well not exist, because fucking Alicia's always like, Ian, gather the troops. Ian, cover me. Ian, do this shit. And it's like, okay, well, we know who your favorite is. Great. Fucking...
See, the thing is, Alicia has a bit of a thing for Ian because she's a girl, but she has a guy name, so she can trick herself into thinking she's not gay.
God damn
it. Rose, like Stan was saying, is it good to kill people? Like, she's shown as being not as mentally stable and strong as she was, and being sort of like, what's the right word? Sort of like, weak-willed, and sort of like sticking to her path. I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing in the idea department, because, gives us a bit of chance to see sort of what's going on in her head. Okay, fair enough. Maybe in like some like part of the story we didn't see at all in the game, maybe she would... I don't mean like literally they wrote this in, but I'm thinking like there probably was a point in her life where she felt that way. My issue is that, partially because of when it happens, Rose's theme and role as a character, which in my opinion was to support Saray, who is freaking strong-willed in this series. He is not... Like, he was pretty confident and strong-willed in himself in the game too, but I feel like here there's like he
has literally no flaws.
Yeah, he shows no signs of anything like that, so I guess you could argue he doesn't really need someone to support him, but my viewpoint is, well, what if he did? Because in both the anime and the game, Saray is the character who brings people up. He's the friend who will, like, make you feel better when you're feeling down, but then it becomes a thing of what happens when that person feels down. You need someone else to bring you up. I felt like that was Rose's role, which is why I think she's a better heroine than Alicia overall. But here, they've kind of changed that. Even after she gets to a point where she's had her breakthrough, quote-unquote, and she's more confident, I still feel like she's more like a follower than she was in the game. Again, in my opinion, that's not necessarily a terrible idea, but it's like, I feel like it's kind of messing with her motif a bit, and I don't know how... I don't really like it that much. Alicia, like in the anime, still the same, like, strong-willed. She gets her own fucking Armatus form, which I guess is cool.
No, it's not. Especially with how they fucking handle Armatus in this fucking show.
Yeah. I guess... Because in the game, Alicia kind of got on my nerves a little because of the whole, oh, I'm inexperienced kind of thing. But here, she doesn't really do it that much. She did it like a couple of times, which I thought was fair. Like, okay, fair enough. But, yeah, she's pretty different. What else? I have my notes because for my YouTube channel I took notes.
Well,
Yeah.
nah, go ahead if you've got something to say.
I can't think of anything without switching gears.
Okay, well, since we brought up... Okay, so they completely fucked Armatus in this. Even if you're a fan of Berseria, doesn't matter, they fucked you there too. Because, okay, in Zestiria they claim Armatus is something special that you can only do if you're either the shepherd or his squire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool, whatever, fuck it. It's like this bond, you come together, bam, no big deal. Okay, yeah, I bitched about it in our review of it, but even so, this is how Zestiria presented it. That armatization, as long as you had solid resonance and you were willing to go at it, no big deal. Boom. Armatize, you're done. Great, fantastic. Emphasized by Rose and Dezel just kind of, bam, merging, instantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I guess then, in the case of Alicia, I guess she was like, I never thought of just trying it. Which makes the Alicia DLC even dumber, but whatever. So, okay. Meanwhile, in Berseria, they claim, oh, Armatus, fucking anybody can do that shit. Who cares? It's not a big deal. So, no matter which one you go with, this show fucks you, because apparently, unless you're the shepherd, which Berseria outright said anybody could be a fucking shepherd, right? Unless you're the shepherd, apparently, fusing with the Seraph slowly drains your life force. For no reason. So, yeah, Rose and Alicia, they struggle to keep up, and I guess it's also that way they can make Saray look more badass or something. I don't fucking know. But
I hate to cut in, but I took that more that they were just kind of inexperienced with it.
But it's not an experience thing! Fucking...
Well, in the context of the anime, it might be.
From the context of the anime, if you're not the shepherd, fuck you. You don't get to armatize properly. So, no, yeah, fuck that shit. And it gets even dumber once you get to the end, which I don't know if you want to talk about that right now, Ryan, but Saray going Super Saiyan. So
I thought that was actually kind of cool. A little bit.
No, A, because it's fanficky.
Yeah.
B, and don't you dare say it's not. B, because for all that fucking build-up, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I feel like... Sorry. I feel like,
No problem.
I feel like, in the scene where you first see it, because they're playing Innocence by Flo, which is the ending theme, where they're playing the do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
And then they go into the part where, they do the but then they go back into the do-do-do because of the way the song is. That was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Because you go from slow to big to slow. So.
Yeah, but fucking... and here's another issue. They made us wait an entire extra month for that final episode.
Yeah.
They, honest to God, didn't fucking need to. Because the animation is not any better. Which, by the way, the animation in this season is half that of the fucking first season, which is hilarious. The fight scene between Heldolf and Super Saray lasts a minute. It really happens in said fight.
Super Shepherd Saray.
Yeah. Fucking... It's not a particularly epic conclusion.
Yeah.
In fact, I dare say it's downright stupid, because even once it hits 1,000 years later, Heldolf is still alive somehow. Which, yeah, by the way, fuck that too. You remember how in Zestiria its moral argument was that sometimes you can't reason with people, and yes, killing someone can be justified under the right circumstances? Yeah, this anime says fuck you, killing's never justified. You should... Everybody can be redeemed, even if they don't want to be.
But Stan,
Apparently.
Human life is precious.
Yeah, fuck you. Okay, yeah, you could argue there's a debate there, but the thing is, these writers went completely out of their way to say fuck you to both Zestiria and Berseria on that front. Which says a lot. In fact, it says a lot that they're giving a middle finger to this, because you know why? And this is where I fucking said I quit. Right here. They fucking purify dragons in this show. Those things that were stated to be literally impossible to purify. And even in Zestiria, when they come up with one theory that might work, it would require sacrificing someone else to do it. Fuck that, apparently. Everyone can be saved. Go purify yourself some dragons, kids. Turns out, Heldolf and fucking Eisen, you just need to give them a hug the whole time. What, you didn't think of trying it?
That one didn't bother me that much, mainly because it was Saray, Rose, and Alicia coming in, so I sort of took it as sort of like...
So basically, this anime's argument is, it totally would have been possible if Alicia was in the party.
That and also more
Bullshit.
Is better.
Bullshit!
Also, was Simone the dragon they purified? Because I noticed that, like, I'm still trying to kind of figure out, like, who...
No, it was just some random-ass dragon.
Just some random-ass dragon, because,
and
like...
then Simone just showed up and was like, haha, you suck. And that was it.
Because, like, I was trying to, like, okay... Because I'm like, is purifying the same thing as killing them?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Because, like, when Simone gets turned into a dragon near the finale, because fuck you theming with Heldolf, they purify her and she's shown to be alive.
Yeah. So, like, I don't really... If you're gonna purify a dragon, like...
By the way, apparently Dezel performing Final Explosion purifies people, too. As we got to see. So,
right.
You know, there's that.
And, in the game, Saray's whole, like, the idea of them trying to purify, it honestly didn't really bother me. You can maybe take it to sort of, represent Saray's, constant, maybe even nagging sort of passion and his, refusal to give up. You can take that from it.
But that completely takes away his fucking character development.
A little bit, yeah, but I think it also kind of retains sort of his will to make sure that no matter what, the greater good is done, whatever that may be.
Yeah, but the greater good would be fucking putting them out of their misery. If you're going by the game, at least. Fucking...
So in your mind, Saray should have been like, shh, it's okay. He has a pillow, and he's slowly pushing it down on the person's face. He takes his hand and puts it on the center of the pillow. They start off... Because, you know, like, when you're suffocating someone, they don't immediately start, like, wiggling, and then suddenly they're like, and so it's like, shh.
No, like...
Sleep.
Like, God, like... Fuck.
No, I know what you mean. I was making a joke.
Like, the most poignant... I know, but, like, the most poignant part is, like, that ending, which we all discussed, that all had an impact on us, at least to some degree. I'm not saying, like, it hit me right here, man. I'm not trying to say that. But, like, at least we all fucking, like, it stuck out to us was, you know, after he purifies Heldolf at the end of the game, Heldolf gives that speech of, it doesn't matter if you save me. I'll become evil again, and I'll just keep killing until I find what I want, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's when Saray decides, okay, you need to be put out of your misery then, and just stabs him. Like,
yeah.
So, but apparently in this show, Heldolf was totally a good guy who just lost his way, even though he completely murdered tons of innocent people and became the Lord of Calamity, and went on to corrupt the world and kill everybody.
All because he was lonely.
Yeah, and here's what the anime tries to argue too, by the way. Oh, Heldolf did nothing wrong because he was trying to stay away from everyone. Everyone just kind of randomly bumped into him. It's not his fault. So in other words, there is literally no consequences in this whole fucking show.
Yeah, like, they, I was glad they kept the whole him just basically being lonely kind of thing, but him being, like, a friggin' trying to, like, outcast himself, probably trying to be hip and cool.
Which, by the way, that whole outcasting himself thing doesn't fucking fly when later on we see him actively antagonizing Maltellus for no reason. You can't fucking claim, I want to be left alone, and yet you're off fucking fighting God.
I think it was a good touch. I assume they did this the way that... I assume they probably got Laphicette's actress.
They did. They got her.
Yeah, that makes sense, based on who Maltellus is.
Although that leads it to be really fucking funny when you see this giant dragon fighting and it has the voice of, like, a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, so great, good job, guys, all drama going there.
Not necessarily as funny as Eisen randomly being all like, no, and then flying off.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Fuck that. Like, So, yeah, you can armatize with 4 people at once, apparently. I bet you didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because even I didn't. But fucking...
I still think it's kind of cool.
You're fine too, but it's still fanficky as shit.
It is incredibly fanficky.
God, this whole fucking season is a fanfic. Essentially. I want to write a coffee shop AU of Zestiria where nothing bad happens and there are no consequences.
They gave me Alicia and Rose, though, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that's another fanfic. What?
Man, at this rate, you guys should get married.
Yes, you should. So out of all that rambling I just did, do you have anything to say in counter, maybe, Ryan?
Not in counter. Like I said, the dragon purification thing didn't really, bother me. I took it more of like... I feel like the scale and how much work they had to put into it, it made sense to me. I'll give you that, like... Because obviously, game logic, it would... If it were true like that, you would probably need even more. Like maybe 10 squires and your shepherd and Velvet coaching you in the corner or something.
Apparently.
That's a joke. But it didn't really bother me too much. Held off. I'm at least glad they kept the loneliness thing. I felt like that was kind of a good quirk of doing sort of a more traditional, sort of like seemingly a more traditional, like straight up bad guy villain, but then giving him that Tails sympathy that we all know with the villains, giving them more layers.
Anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so then I'll just, because this popped in my head. Animation budget, completely cut in half. It's amazing. Considering one thing we all did compliment about Season 1 at least was that the fight scenes were really fast-paced and cool and shit, right?
Yeah.
Not only are there almost no action sequences in Season 2, but what few ones there are way fucking less involving, and also not nearly as animated as well. For example, like I said, that final battle is completely anticlimactic and lasts like a minute. But I noticed while watching, like even just ignoring that, I noticed while watching, they did a lot of stuff to cut corners on animation. For example, there's a scene where they're all walking and talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Meek Leo, like, starts to think about something as he's talking. And instead of doing, like, tapping his head or holding his chin or whatever, he completely covers the bottom half of his face.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't afford to just animate his mouth opening and closing, could you?
Or him
like
putting
hell.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was gonna say him putting, like, doing, like, a weird position with his hand to his chin, sort of like a pondering motion.
Right, yeah. Or this is where I fucking lost it. I laughed my ass off at this. But there's a scene where Alicia's party, quote unquote, gets ambushed in the middle of the night in the forest. You might know what I'm talking about, Ryan.
Yeah.
And Ian's like, Alicia, princess, you have to get out of here. And she, like, pushes her down a hill. And Alicia goes fucking tumbling at, like, Mach 2 down this fucking hill. And the thing is, it's not even animated well. If you look at it, it's literally, they take her character model and just flip it, like, back and forth, like, 5 times really fast in order to try and show it moving. It's fucking hilariously cheap. Like, just, I was like, oh my god, you guys did not have money this season, or at least not nearly as much. God. Like, Lord. But, yeah, like, oh, by the way, that's another thing you didn't touch on, right? How did you feel about the Berseria elements, quote unquote?
I personally think they should have given us more, besides just being like, oh yeah, it happened. Like,
the final battle is totally at this place instead of fucking Artorias' throne, which was the final area of both fucking games. But okay.
Let's go to Wasteland.
For no reason. Yeah.
Fair enough. Whatever. They even go to the friggin' final snowy level town. Like you can. It looks like picture like the exact same.
Like they took a screenshot of the game.
They took a screenshot and drew over it.
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever. Lore. Fine. Whatever. Like. Okay. I don't know. Maybe Michael used Netscape that day. It's like, oh, there's all this other stuff that.
He had internet. That's how he knows all this shit.
Or maybe he picked up Artorias' diary and read that, and he's all like, "Oh man, I don't know why birds fly anymore." But my Velvet showing up in Soray's dream, that was probably my favorite moment out of all the Berseria stuff, just because I wanted to see them interact. Honestly, I wanted to see Soray and Velvet fight. I wanted to see them duke it out. I think that would be
cool.
Awesome. That would have been awesome. That's what I was hoping, but they don't give us that. The only other
instead Velvet shows up and is like, "Birds fly. Okay, bye." And
yeah. Follow your path. The other moment I liked, it's not really a connection moment, but when Soray is sort of like talking about what he thinks of the Second Celestial record, they have Velvet, like a softer sort of piano-y version of Velvet's theme, and I like that. I really like Velvet's theme. I think it's very.
I hate that it's like the only song you ever fucking hear in Berseria. God damn it.
I think that I really like that scene. Was actually kind of touching, and when Sora was talking about what he thought, and it was playing Velvet's theme. It had like some weird kind of closure aspect. I'll probably go into more detail in my review when I have more time to sort of process that. Because when I was writing it, I couldn't really explain how I felt about it. But it gave me it. I think he would have had to have played both Berseria and Zestiria, or maybe played Berseria before watching the anime to feel the same way that I did if you were like me, which if you're not, that's fine. But I kind of liked it. Though overall, I just wish they had done more with it, because it honestly just kind of feels like they just sort of threw it in for the sake of connecting it.
We have game music, guys.
Yeah. I wanted to, like, I don't know, like, have Velvet show up and be all like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, Soray," and Soray's all like, "I know you, you're Velvet Crow," and I always say her full name too whenever it's like when I think it's Maven, or no, one of the kings is like talking about.
Oh right, by the way, Maven, his plot's completely gone. Just thought you should know.
And Soray's all like, "Velvet Crow," I'm like, cool. But yeah, that's
you
really...
bring up something I forgot. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, overall, I wish they had done more with the Berseria stuff.
But you brought up something I forgot about: the music and how it's handled in this season. Honestly, it just feels like it's kind of randomly just fucking thrown in.
Yeah.
At certain parts, like the first season, we all complimented how they were like, "Oh, hey, that's from the game. They're using it at appropriate points." You know, like, okay, cool, that's nice. Nice little nod. And, you know, then I bitched that they ruined Zavid's theme, which, by the way, they used that same shitty version for Season 2, so that's nice. But, you know, here, it's just, they're just like, fuck, we need music because we don't have budget. Quick, grab a song from the game. Or, like, where I got pissed was during that scene where they're purifying their first dragon, they play one of my favorite songs from Zestiria, Rising Up. Which, if you don't know, that's the song that plays during the Tiamat sequence in Zestiria. And that's one of the best sequences in the fucking game. It's fucking awesome. Nowhere near the same emotional wavelength. Fucking, the anime can kiss my ass with how they used that song and where they used it. Fuck off!
Kiss my anus!
Yeah, like, my ass. But, no, fucking... just fuck that shit. Okay.
While we're on the subject of the music, what'd you think of the new opening theme by Minami?
Still better than White Light.
I agree.
Nowhere near as good as Kaze no Uda, though.
Yeah, Innocence is also kind of cool. It does have a slight White Light feel to it in that there's some weak parts.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool whenever they play it near the end of an episode, but during Super Saiyan 17 Saray or whatever...
Captain Super Saray Ultra.
Captain Super Saray Ultra 9000 edition. When they play sort of like the beginning part...
HD Turbo!
HD Turbo! And then they go into the part where the actual ending starts, but then because of the way the song works, they go back to the slow part. I felt like that was a little anticlimactic, though I thought it was cool where in the final battle they play Innocence and then they go into Kaze no Uta. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's nice. I thought that was a pretty clean transition from what I could tell.
Fucking... So yeah, if you didn't gather, those 2 Berseria episodes we got were a complete waste of time in the long run. So yeah, I'm completely justified in saying they were fucking pointless and they shouldn't have happened. But god damn. But yeah, overall this show, like at first, like I was like, okay, it's different. Maybe they're gonna fucking go somewhere with it. It's kind of dumb, but I'm not really hating it. But then like, I got like 5 or 6 episodes in, and I was like, oh my god, fuck this show. Like, this is bullshit. Like I said, characters are completely just off in this. Like, if you think, if you watch this show, or you know, let's be even more narrow than that. If you watch this season, although I would still argue this for season 1 too, if you watch this season and you go, everyone's character was completely on point. Holy shit, you must not have thought much about the characters when you played the game in Zestiria. Like, at all. Holy shit. But, oh yeah, and by the way, at the end, Alicia stated to become queen, even though in the game she was 11th in line. So, you know, that's nice.
And she's probably eating Rose's pussy.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, they do Alicia X Rose in season 2, and I was not pleased.
I was very pleased.
And before anyone says, oh, you didn't like it because it's lesbianism and you're homophobic, no, I'm not pleased because those 2 characters are A, completely incompatible, and B, it's totally fucking forced. And fanficky.
It is forced and fanficky, but I like it.
Yeah, I know you like it. Fucking... And I know, Joe, out there, if you're listening to this, you're going to like it too because of how you shipped the 2, so fuck you.
As you should.
Shut up, Ryan. Which, by the way, if they were trying to do that to, like, unite Rose and Alicia fans, I think it kind of did not work because, like, here's the thing. Most people who are fans of Alicia hate Rose. Most people who are fans of Rose hate Alicia. Putting the 2 together is not going to do anything. It's going to just piss people off. So,
it did something
yeah. Yes, because you like both characters, but...
Yeah.
Whereas me, I don't like either character, so, you know, there's that. But, so, yeah, that's fucking... Oh, by the way, Next Shepherd, what's that? Zestiria said the Next Shepherd was, Rose? Well, fuck you, the Next Shepherd is apparently the, fucking Velvet's twin brother.
Gingerbread Velvet.
Yeah, essentially. Oh, and by the way, Lila totally tells everyone to fuck off so she can pal around with said new shepherd. Because fuck your friends, I guess. Even though, at the end of Zestiria, it was shown the party stayed together for the greater good, and fucking hell, fucking shoot me.
She probably hangs out with the gang every now and then.
By the way, she has literally no reason for keeping secrets in the anime version. like straight up. Because she never makes a pact. Flames of purification are apparently just a thing you can do. I guess. Whatever. So, god damn it. I can't remember any other specifics. Can you, Ryan?
Do you think that when Alicia and Rose decide that they want to continue the family line, how are they going to handle adopting what is probably going to be a commoner into the family? Because, two girls can't make babies.
Magic exists. I'm sure they can do that.
On a more serious note, let me open up my notes. I can't really think of anything that, Lunar sort of being kind of...
Oh! Fucking Lunar! Thank you. Fuck that. That was bullshit. Go on.
Yeah, that was kind of weird how, he was trying to kind of be good and then they kill him off. I'm like,
Yeah, he becomes a good guy for literally no reason.
And for only a few seconds.
Yeah. And I'm not exaggerating when I say for no reason. He just kind of goes, I'm gonna be a good guy now, and then just fucking dies.
I imagine what they were trying to go for was that maybe Alicia, because they had that scene where they're talking, where I wanted him to lick Alicia's cheek.
Yeah,
because
with
he was
Maltron,
really
who never becomes evil in this show, because fuck that plotline.
Right. I think it would have been awesome if he licked her face in a weird way to sort of creep her out.
Fuck that.
And it would give Alicia more of a reason to hate men, being a lesbian. Yeah, it was kind of... I felt like what they were probably going for was that maybe, Lunar had, some sort of epiphany after talking to Alicia, Hero of the Century. So... But it did seem kind of random, I'm a good guy now. I'm not against it, but... It did seem kind of...
Fuck that, remember he was hinted to be the next Lord of Calamity somehow?
Yeah, they decided not to do that. They changed their mind.
I mean, I would have been a lot better if he had fought them and died. Like in the game before the Alicia DLC. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
But fuck that, I guess. But, oh! I remembered another scene that I fucking loved. And this is in the very first episode. There's a scene where Rose is haggling with some dudes over goods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'll give you 1,000 gold for it. And they're like, 1,000 gold, that's fucking nothing. And her response was literally, I suggest you take it because I know these goods are stolen, otherwise I'll just kill you. Meaning, she was completely willing to buy stolen goods off people and just take them. She was not noble at fucking all. And yet they try and play it up like, I would never take goods that I know are stolen, I'm going to return them. Bitch, you were willing to pay for them. Fuck you. Jesus Christ. Oh, and by the way, Rose can, until halfway through the show, she can somehow see and hear Dezel, but no other Seraph, because that fucking makes sense.
That whole resonance they had going.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Resonance is...
Dezel was inside her all the time. Literally inside her. Not
by the way, the pact between Shepard and Squire, completely different abilities. You now also have telepathy, apparently. So that's nice. By the way, Alicia, she masters telepathy instantly, where Saray struggles with it, because Alicia's awesome, I guess. So, yeah, that's great.
Right.
Oh, by the way, travel distance also doesn't make any fucking sense in this show, I just remembered, because, I remember there's a small arc where they're like, oh, but we have to travel, across the country to fucking stop Rose, and then they get there in, not even a day's time. And they actually, here's how the fucking sequence goes. They start to travel out when they hear news that she's off to assassinate someone. And this is in the morning, mind you. And at the same time, Rose goes, we're going to go up to the castle and kill this motherfucker. And they immediately head out to kill that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Saray somehow fucking makes it there to stop her. Even though he was across the fucking continent.
He had the spacebar down on his emulator, so he had extra speed.
He had wind step.
He had wind step.
His horse had wind step.
He equipped that X-Spear that made you go faster in towns.
Oh my fucking lord. But that said, a question that everyone's been asking ever since this premiered, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that this is... Because some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So this is an honest question. Would you say this is the worst in terms of Tales anime? And I'm not saying, like, do you fucking hate the show? No, I'm just saying, in terms of comparison to all the others, do you think this is the weakest one?
That is a tough question.
And I thought about it too, and at first I said yes. But I thought about it more, and the answer is actually no. You know why?
Why?
Because fucking Tales of Zestiria, the First Strike, fucking exists. And the thing is, okay, yeah, technically, that movie has less issues than this whole show, but that movie is so fucking boring, it's unbearable. At least in my opinion. So I would rather rewatch this whole show like 5 times than sit through fucking The First Strike like one more time, because holy shit, that movie is in slow-mo. God damn.
See, my opinion is not really going to make a difference, because it's always it's going to be from the perspective of someone who just loves Tales. So me saying...
Are you saying I don't love Tales, Ryan?
You love Tales too, but like I kind of have this weird blind love going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or at the very least, our loves are different. Maybe, I don't know. You're probably more willing to look at. You're probably more willing to understand that it has faults and that they shouldn't be ignored, I guess.
I mean, I guess, but like, it's not like you don't ever make criticisms, though, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't really know what I'm trying to say there. Honestly, to answer your question, I'm gonna say yes. I do think it is the weakest Tales anime because of it's sort of the unused potential with the Berseria stuff, the characters being changed to such a way that it kind of messes with the themes a little bit, as well as blatant sort of trying to appease the fans. Which, if you make a bad mistake, sure, that's fine. But if you're doing it just because a lot of people, frankly, didn't understand it, then I think that's not really good. I feel like there's another reason why. I can't think of why, but yeah, I will say that, again, coming from me may not mean much because I still like it, but I would say it's the weakest of the Tales anime.
Alright. Fair enough.
Now what?
Well, can you think of any other instances you want to bring up, or...
The part where Rose fingered Alicia was amazing. No, that didn't happen. I wish it happened, but it didn't. I can't think of anything going forward. I think we've covered everything that we can.
So, okay, well, I guess that'll bring us to a close then.
What would you rate it?
God, fuck me. That's actually kind of a hard question, honestly, because here's the thing. I ended up absolutely hating it by the end. So you would think I'd rate it a 1 out of 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was the thing where, like, at least for a period, I was not okay with it, but I was just like, this is just kind of dumb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, fuck me. But 2 out of 6 feels too generous. So, yeah, fuck it. I'm just gonna say a 1 out of 6 because, like, if you have any respect at all for Tales of Zestiria, or even Berseria, I don't see how you could take this show coming along and saying, fuck that shit, we're writing this fanfic that's totally way better than anything the game had to offer. To me, that is insulting. So, no, I would not recommend this show if you're a fan. I would not recommend it if you're curious. I would not recommend it if you're a fan of UFO Table. Fucking, okay, I might not be a fan of the series, but fuck, go watch Fate's Day instead if you're really jonesing for something. Like, god damn. So, on any, like, maybe on a riff level, maybe, but, like, the thing is, the show is kind of too subdued and boring for that, in my opinion. Especially, like, certain filler episodes, because Jesus Christ. But, like, so no, it's not the worst fucking thing I've ever seen, but just, as someone who liked Tales of Zestiria, genuinely liked it, thought it was a good game, enjoyed its characters, enjoyed its story, everything. No, I can't recommend this, even from the standpoint of, oh, let's get a different perspective. So there you go. That's my final answer on that.
Alrighty. I am going to give it a 6 out of 10. Like I said early on, I expected and kind of wanted it to be different. Just because mainly because I felt like they were going for that anyway. So I was like, okay, cool. I do think that some of the characterization was damaged. I think that the lack of more Berseria connection was not very good. I also think that the ending, the final battle conclusion, was sort of a little rushed and not really, and kind of anticlimactic. Some of the story changes I didn't really, like scene changes I didn't really like. I do think a portion of the Alicia thing was handled more along the lines of what I wanted. It's not entirely perfect. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, mainly just on the grounds that I feel like the first season was pretty good, and the second season is sort of where things got weaker. So I'm just going to say probably I'm going to say 6 out of 10. Recommendation-wise, again, probably not meaning much coming from me, but I mean, if you want to watch it, feel free. I won't stop you. I do think that if you do want to watch it, keep in mind that there's going to be some stuff that's different for whatever reason they had in mind. Maybe they just wanted to change it just to be different from the game, or maybe they genuinely thought they were doing things better. So if you're interested, feel free to. No word on a home release yet. I'm a little surprised on that. I don't think they've. They must have finished dubbing the entire.
They need to call Robbie Damon back in for re-recording some stuff.
All right, because Bryce Papenbrook filled in for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robbie on Facebook kept talking about how he had like strep throat or something. So.
Yeah, he got like a throat infection or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess, they'll probably have to wait for that, and then they'll probably announce a home release, which I will probably buy because I'm a freak.
Have you bought Dawn of the Shepherd yet, Ryan?
I can't.
Why not?
Because I'm buying a fucking $100 Blu-ray! A toys in a book, probably in a game!
You're literally gonna buy the fucking collector's edition for PS4, Ryan.
I have no other choice because no one is selling it just on its own. And I don't want to get the Japanese version, and I don't want to make my own. I'd rather just have the legit thing. It'd be nice if they include it with the home release.
That would be nice, actually. That'd be a nice bonus feature.
I wonder if they're going to do the same thing for the Samurai Warriors anime, because I know Funimation has the special anime that came with the PS4 special edition of Samurai Warriors 4, so maybe they'll dub that too. I don't know. But if that's their similar mindset, it would be really nice if they include that episode, the Dawn of the Shepherd, on there as well. That would help a lot. That would save me a lot of money. But anything else?
No, I think we both. I mean, we'd basically just be going over like literally every episode of the show if we went any more in depth. So I think we're good.
Yeah. So that was quite the adventure.
Fuck this show.
We're sorry if we upset any of you out there, but these are our opinions.
Yes. You know what? If you have any hate mail, just send it to me. Don't send it to Ryan. He doesn't deserve it.
Be sure to leave a comment below.
Oh god, no, Ryan! Damn it!
It's gonna be on YouTube anyway, and it's like I'm not gonna disable the comments for one video. I don't even think you can.
Now watch, we're gonna get like 1 million shit posts on specifically this video somehow.
It'll be good press.
No, it won't. It won't be good press at all.
But yeah, everyone's different. If you liked it more than I did, certainly more than Stan did, that's A-okay.
If you somehow like it better than the game, go fuck yourself.
But that'll bring us to a close then. Anything else you'd like to say before we close?
Where's Radiant Mythology 4?
That'd be nice, yeah. Maybe that's gonna be the new Tales game for the Switch.
Fine! Fuck it! Do it! Fucking put it on the Switch and put literally every character in it. Every single one. Even if they have no plot importance. Like, straight up.
Every character. And I want Galando as well from Heart. I want every, like, extroversion character. They can bring them all together. They're more or less like their own party.
Put in fucking Milhouse, too.
Put in Milhouse.
And Sheehan. And Chitose. And Chalcedony. And fucking the dude with the drill from Hearts that I fucking forgot his name. I think his name's Tetsuya, if I remember right. I'd have to look it up, I'm sorry. Fucking...
The guy who is part of Chalcedony's team?
Yeah.
Pyrox.
No, not him, no. Fucking... In Hearts DS, there was a side quest you could do with this one fucking Soma user. I always forget his fucking name. I think his name is Tetsu. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. But
put him in.
Like he was originally planned to be a party member, but he got cut for space. And then Hearts R decided fuck him by removing him entirely. So that's nice.
I don't remember seeing him at all.
No, like his side quest got removed fucking completely in Hearts R.
That's a shame.
Yeah, so fucking put them in. Put fucking all the temporary party members in there, like Ross. Put in fucking...
Put Ian and Schiller in there.
Fuck no, don't do that.
Put in the two sisters from the Vesperia movie.
Put in Sergei.
Put in Vegeta.
Yeah.
I'll buy
Put
it.
in Toriko.
Just put in everyone from J-Stars.
Shonen Jump versus Tail.
Shonen Jump. Oh man, that's the ultimate crossover right there.
I'm surprised Shonen Jump versus Capcom has not happened yet. Honestly,
Shonen Jump.
I am surprised by that.
Yeah, I don't think Shonen Jump is big enough for that. Maybe I know Tatsunoko. They got that. So I don't.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't know what a lot of people think of Shonen Jump. It's definitely probably one of the more popular manga publications.
Oh yeah.
Fuck Shonen Sunday. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, put in literally everyone who is a party member, who is a guest party member, who is a planned party member but got cut. Just put in all of them, and put in all of our favorite characters like across the games too. Just put in fucking Hercule from Berseria.
Put in Keely from Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
And Barney.
Yeah, I think we're going a little far now.
Hey kids, demon thing.
Fuck you, Ryan. Put in Flametron, aka YouTube Sasuke.
Put in Banjo and Kazooie.
Put in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Put in Bob from Reboot.
God damn it.
We could go on, but we need to close.
Yeah, let's. We've rambled too much. Let's end. We're ending.
Thank you all for listening. We hope you join us next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.